Hi, today I'm going to look at 5 ways in which you can optimize your website and your business for voice search. So if you're a business owner and you've heard of voice search, then this is going to help you to be ready, because in 2020, voice search is really massive. So let's get future-proofing your business today. So welcome to Zanet Design. I run this business, my name's Zane, and I help small businesses like you to succeed on the internet and grow. So as a small business, you've probably heard of voice searching, and that's going to have a real big effect on your business in the coming weeks and months in 2020. So why is it so important? Well, they say that over 50% now of searches are made through voice search. So what do we mean? Well, let me just give you an example of how this works. Here I've got Google Mini, and I'm just going to ask them about a web designer locally. So let's see how this goes. Okay, Google, tell me, where's the local web designer?
I found a few web designer near you. The first one is Zanet Design Limited at 4 Rotherfield Road, Bournemouth. The second one is Website Packages, web designer at Bournemouth. The third one is Little Web at Bournemouth.
So you notice there that 3 results were given. Now, in a previous video, we spoke about having the local 3-pack and getting in that. And that again was just geographically, Google was looking to see who is locally to where I am, obviously, and to then geolocate 3 local web designers. So we're going to look at 5 things you can do to your business to make sure that you're ready for this type of voice searching that's taking place. And we're not just talking about with Google, but we're talking about with Alexa, we're talking about Cortana, we're talking about Siri. And just for a little bit of fun, hey Google, what do you think of Siri?
You know Siri too. What a small world. Hope he's doing well.
There you go. So everyone has a bit of humour as well, but we're going to see how this can be done and benefit your business. Let's log straight in now and see how this works. So thanks for joining me here. We're going to now look then at how this can be done and 5 particular ways in which we can make sure that your voice is search engine optimized, and that your website and your company in general will receive people finding it on the internet, whether it's through Google Business, through Google Maps, or through your website, or even just a phone number or an email. So it seems that Google's keen, as are all of the various devices, to make sure that voice search is very much the way forward in 2020. So we need to make sure we're prepared for that. We're going to look at 5 different ways to do so. So before we start, let's just, one of the big ways is to just make sure you're mobile friendly. So if I was to take my website, zanet.co.uk, and if I then take that, put it into here, and then let that find me, test the URL. And as that's analysing it, I'll just discuss the fact that, as you can see, Google Assistant and Apple Siri are certainly 2 of the main culprits when it comes to producing the need for voice search and voice search optimization. Cortana and Alexa are there too. But as we can see with all of these, they're very much the way in which searches are going. They reckon that over 50% of all internet searches this year, so that's the end of 2019, were done through voice searching. So that means that 50% of the time, your customers are now no longer using the internet to search. And that's mainly because websites are also produced for mobiles. And on mobiles now, people don't want to be typing, they're happy to use the voice search. So you can see how things are dramatically changing as we head further and further along when it comes to technology and voice searching. And so Google's aware of that. And that's why, being mobile friendly, so here we are, my website's mobile friendly. That's the first thing. The first tip I give you is just make sure, check it on mobile friendly tests from Google. I'll leave the search, the URL for this, so that you can search and check your websites. That's the first thing to do. Now, going back to these digital assistants, it's just worth bearing in mind as well that they reckon in 2020 there's an estimate of 200 billion voice search queries every month. That's 200 billion voice search queries every month that potentially could be including your business. So you can see the need for making sure your business is able to be found on the search results. And the search engines are very much giving what people want, which is voice search rather than text or web search itself. They also reckon that 73% of people will be using smart searching on their phones on a daily basis. So I think we've had enough stats to see that things are changing dramatically. And one of the biggest changes is the way in which Google now is understanding how there's more of a semantic search. So rather than just doing one or two keywords, say you're looking for a builder, you might just say builder Bournemouth. Now people are typing in, or they're voice searching in, where is the local builder in Bournemouth? And that's a much longer tail version of that keyword. And that's what really voice search is all about. It's trying to think about what types of questions and making it much more conversational, much more personalised. So words like how to, how do you, what can I do to, those types of starts to the voice search is going to be very much more relevant in the coming weeks and months ahead. So are you optimizing for that type of keyword search as opposed to the standard keyword 2 or 3 keywords that are relevant to your industry? So when it comes to local and small business, then this is really essential. And I've kind of said this many times before, but you need to make sure you've claimed your business. You need to make sure you've got your Google My Business up to date. So you'll be familiar with from my other videos that claiming your Google business is essential. If you want me just to show you briefly what that means, if I was to go to, say, Google Maps, and on there, if I was to search in for, say, a builder, and here you then get a list of all the builders that are local to me. But many of these, they might be local, but they've got no idea that that they can. So there we go, claim this business. So this is a local business, and he's a builder, but he has no idea that I'm trying to find him. And yet he's not got any real details. In fact, these details are probably just from people that have added them, but he's not got any hours, he's got no website, and so on. So all that information there is available. The person would just click claim this business if they owned it, and then they could then start to fill in that information. And this is kind of everywhere at the moment. People still haven't claimed their business. So that's the first thing to do, is claim your business. The second thing to do then is, of course, to make sure you've got plenty of reviews. So looking at these, a lot of these businesses don't have reviews. I mean, if I go here, they've got 3 reviews, which is good. And again, answer reviews as well. But if you get reviews, and that will then also help you to become an authority. And the combination of having reviews and being seen on Google Maps will enable then Google Maps to find you and to know about you. So that if someone now does a search by voice and they say, show me, tell me who's the local builder, or like we did on my voice search a moment ago about a web designer, then these are the ones that will come up. And as you can see there, that if I'm looking for a local builder now, apart from the one who's paying for the advert here, there's no competition. So take advantage of that competition, get in there. To get number 1 wouldn't take a lot of reviews and much information. So claim it, make it number 1. In fact, it's almost like it's alphabetical. There's so little competition in that particular field. So that's the second thing to do, is claim your Google My Business and make sure you update it. And I've put plenty of videos out there to show you how to do that. The third one was then to make sure you've got great reviews as well from your clients. Now the fourth one, and these are kind of the real major tips coming up now, so don't miss them because these next few are going to be really vital. The next one is to just go to a website, and you may have come across this. It's called Answer the Public, and it's an unusual website because you have this kind of movement going on which is a bit off-putting. But what it does is it just gives you a chance to put in your keywords to find out what people are actually searching for on voice search. So in here I've put build an extension. So say I was looking for a build, I wanted to build an extension, okay, and I'm going to optimize as a builder a website that answers the questions that people are asking about building an extension. Now you can go for a visualized version or a data version. Now the visualized version I find is a bit confusing. So you get this kind of this man, and you get all these who, why, what, which, are, and so on. If you put it into data form, it just makes it a bit easier to read. So people are asking things like, can I build an extension over a sewer? Can I build an extension without planning permission? I mean, look how long this is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 words. Can you build an extension without planning permission? So these are the very real questions that people are asking. What questions? What to do to build an extension? What is needed to build an extension? So it could be that you've got to talk about planning and applications and all sorts of things there that could be discussed on your website that answers those questions. Why build an extension? You get the idea, and then you come on to perhaps other prepositions as well, but these are perhaps a bit more less for voice search. I think for voice search these are probably the better ones. These are the ones that people will be asking. How can I build an extension? What do I need to build an extension, and so on. So this is a really useful website. You can use it. It gives you quite a few different ideas, and at the end it also gives these alphabetical list. And these are really based on what Google predicts is going to be what people are searching for. So if you started typing in build an extension, it would then think that it's probably on a budget or on a shed. These are the things that Google is expecting you to write. And so sometimes you get that prediction, don't you, when you type into Google. So that would be another thing to consider. So we're taking this thought then of building an extension, how to build an extension. If I put that into Google, you notice that we're going to move on to the fifth area. So the fourth area was really to try and understand what people are really asking in voice search by using the answerthepublic.com website. But the fifth area, and the main area now, is to see what is it that people actually need. What's their requirement when they type these things in? Now, if they type them in, of course, you get to see the results. But these will be the results really that are delivered if you voice them in as well. So if someone asks there how to build an extension using a voice search technique, then the types of things that would come up would be things like what people are asking, or the snippets they're known as would produce various results. So rather than taking people to a website, which is what we normally do, they'll perhaps provide you with the option to go to a video or to listen to a podcast, or to perhaps answer the question by, if this one's relevant, it would answer it by just reading out that in its voice. And again, if it will find really whatever is the most nearest to answer your question, it will then just read that to you. You notice here you have bullet point lists, you have paragraph answers, and all these are known as rich snippets. And that's really the fifth area we're going to look at, is how you can start to put these into your website so that you're now coming up and you're being shown when it comes to using this voice search technique. So 48% of searches on businesses now are geo-specific, and they're interested in answering questions. So these types of questions, or the questions that are relevant to your visitor, is essential. Now you notice that if we go to something different, so if we put like what makes the colour brown, in this case you get an image coming up, and you get the highlighted words of the colours that make it. You then get some other people also ask, and as you click down on one, it opens up some more. So there's no end to how much that goes down. So that's the way that works. But you'll notice also down in the results, you then got videos, and you've then got images, and right near the end of the so we've got 100 results there, you'll get some other related searches as well. And then you also get these, what related searches can be found. So these give you good ideas as to what else people are searching for that are related to what you've just searched for. So when you look at all these results that Google's producing, they're known as rich snippets, rich results, and certainly they give you a real variation. Just another variation here, if I ask how much is a UK pilot paid, you get these questions, you get an answer from a website, and then you again get some, right at the end you get images, and you get some related pilots in the search results and so on. All these things are really just showing you that Google is now trying to give really relevant information, and a lot of it is based on this here. People also ask, and this is very much based on voice search. So you're probably asking at this point, how do I do that on my website? What do I need to do though? You're telling me how it works, but what do I need to do? Well, most of you have probably heard of a plugin called Yoast plugin. So it's an SEO plugin here, and it's done by Yoast. If you do a search for YOAST, Yoast plugin, and if you've got WordPress, then it integrates really nicely. It's a really simple plugin. But on there, you can actually add feature-rich snippets, and I'll just show you how you do that. If you click on in WordPress, if you click on and you type in, say, Yoast, you'll see that at the moment there is two types of data blocks you can do. You can do a how-to or an FAQ. So if you look back here, we've got like a how-to here, so we've got like a list, a bullet point list of how-tos there. I think we had somewhere else an FAQ list. I'm not sure where that is. Was it further down here? No, but an FAQ list as well is probably in here somewhere. So if I went through a few of these, you've got tables as well. That's another one that you can do. Again, you just get the idea that there's some quite useful ways in which it can be presented. But an FAQ is another way to do it as well. And then you just click on one of these. So if it's a case of you want to add a how-to, you then type what it is, you type then what the step is, how to do it. Step 1, you do this. Step 2, add another step. Step 3, add another step. You can add images as well, or videos to show how that's done. So that's all kind of quite straightforward. If you wanted to add a FAQ, just click on that. You type in the question and you click the answer. And all this will do is, if when you then publish this, it will produce this type of thing here, this type of summary, or this type of paragraph to answer the question you've put in there. And that produces a code that Google understands. It's known as a snippet or a rich snippet. Google likes it, and it will then use it to, if it decides to use it on your post. And basically then what happens is you then get it where it shows like this. So this is like an FAQ, or the steps to finding a reliable web designer. It produces it like this. It doesn't look any different really to any other part, but that is then used to produce results in Google when you look for whatever's relevant to these questions, these FAQs. So hopefully you'll find that really useful. That's Yoast plugin, and hopefully all of this has been useful. So in summary then, to make sure that you can optimize for voice search for businesses, then you need to be aware of how it works. You need to be aware of making sure you're mobile friendly. You need to make sure you've got your Google My Business claimed. You need to make sure you've got great reviews to be seen in Google My Business, and obviously you want to aim to get into the top 3 if you can, but that's a different video. You also want to make sure that you answer questions that people are really asking. So look at the voice search way in which they're asking it at answerthepublic.com. And then finally, make sure you've got these rich snippets that also use FAQs and paragraphs. You can enhance on that as well, but I found Yoast was just an easy way of doing it if you're not particularly technical when it comes to coding. Hopefully that's been useful. Let me know any questions you've got. Make sure you subscribe if you enjoyed these types of ways in which I'm teaching and training. And if you get success, then let me know about it. If you've got questions, then by all means put them in the comments below. And please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe, and I look forward to speaking to you again soon. Thanks then. Bye.